How Carvana's vending machines killed car dealerships. Picture this. It's 2011, and buying a used car means spending your Saturday trapped in a dealership lot with a salesman named Brad, who reeks of cheap cologne and desperation. You're haggling over a 2008 Honda Civic with mysterious stains on the seats, while Brad explains how the previous owner was a little old lady who only drove it to church. Meanwhile, his manager lurks in the background like a shark sensing blood in the water. This dance of deception had been the standard for over a century, generating billions in profits for dealers while leaving customers feeling violated and financially drained. Then along came Carvana, a Phoenix-based startup founded by Ernie Garcia III, son of used car magnate Ernest Garcia II. The younger Garcia had a radical vision. What if buying a car was as simple as ordering a pizza online? What if customers could skip the dealership entirely and have their vehicle delivered like an Amazon package? By 2024, Carvana's revolution had obliterated thousands of traditional dealerships, forcing an entire industry built on information asymmetry and high-pressure tactics to face extinction. The company's iconic vending machines, towering glass structures that dispense cars like candy bars, became monuments to the death of the traditional car lot. The traditional car dealership model was a license to print money, protected by a web of state franchise laws that essentially guaranteed dealers a monopoly in their territories. These laws, originally designed to protect dealers from manufacturers in the 1930s, had created an ecosystem where dealers could mark up vehicles by thousands of dollars while providing minimal value. The average new car dealership generated over $4 million in annual revenue by 2010, with profit margins on used cars often exceeding 30%. Dealers made additional fortunes through financing kickbacks, extended warranties, and service departments that charged premium prices for basic maintenance. The entire system relied on customers having limited information about vehicle pricing, history, and availability. Salespeople were trained in psychological manipulation techniques, using everything from artificial scarcity to emotional pressure to extract maximum profit from each transaction. Customer satisfaction surveys consistently ranked car buying experiences below root canals and tax audits. The franchise system meant that even if a manufacturer wanted to sell directly to consumers, they were legally prohibited from doing so in most states. This created a captive market where customers had no choice but to endure the dealership gauntlet, often spending entire weekends just to purchase a single vehicle. Ernie Garcia III understood this pain intimately. His father's company, Drive Time, was one of the largest used car dealership chains in America, giving young Garcia a front-row seat to the industry's dysfunction. After graduating from Stanford and working briefly in investment banking, Garcia returned to Phoenix with a revolutionary idea: eliminate the dealership entirely and sell cars online with home delivery. In 2012, he founded Carvana with backing from his father's company and a clear mission to transform the most hated retail experience in America. The company's initial model was deceptively simple. Customers could browse thousands of vehicles online, complete with 360-degree photos and detailed condition reports. Each car underwent a 150-point inspection, came with a 7-day return policy, and was sold at a fixed, no-haggle price. But Garcia's masterstroke was the delivery system. Instead of forcing customers to visit a lot, Carvana would deliver vehicles directly to their homes or offices, complete with a white-glove experience that included temporary registration and immediate insurance activation. The company's early team included veterans from Amazon, Netflix, and other tech giants who brought Silicon Valley innovation to the stodgy automotive retail sector. The first Carvana vending machine launched in Nashville in 2013, and it was pure marketing genius wrapped in functional innovation. Standing 8 stories tall and capable of holding up to 20 vehicles, these glass towers looked like something from a science fiction movie. Customers who purchased cars online could choose to pick them up from the vending machine, receiving an oversized coin to insert into the slot before watching their new vehicle descend on a platform like a prize from the world's most expensive arcade game. The spectacle generated massive media coverage and social media buzz, with customers posting videos of their vending machine experiences that went viral across platforms. Each machine cost approximately $3 million to build, but they replaced traditional lots that required vast amounts of expensive real estate, sales staff, and overhead. The vending machines could operate 24 hours a day with minimal staffing, processing dozens of transactions daily in prime urban locations where traditional dealerships could never afford the rent. By 2024, Carvana operated over 30 vending machines across major metropolitan areas, each one serving as both a fulfillment center and a towering advertisement for the company's revolutionary approach. Carvana's technology platform was the real weapon that destroyed traditional dealerships. While dealers still relied on fax machines and paper contracts, Carvana built a completely digital infrastructure that could process a vehicle purchase in under 20 minutes. The company's proprietary photography system captured every vehicle from multiple angles, including detailed shots of any cosmetic damage, giving customers more visibility than they would get during a traditional test drive. Advanced logistics algorithms optimized delivery routes and inventory positioning, ensuring that popular models were always available for quick shipment. The financing process, traditionally a dealer profit center filled with hidden fees and inflated rates, became transparent and competitive through partnerships with multiple lenders. Customers could see their exact monthly payment, interest rate, and total cost upfront, eliminating the mystery and manipulation that characterized dealership financing. The company's mobile app allowed customers to track their delivery in real time, communicate with representatives, and even initiate returns if they weren't satisfied. By 2020, Carvana was processing over 100,000 vehicle sales annually through its digital platform, each transaction generating detailed data that further refined the customer experience. The numbers tell the story of traditional dealerships' rapid decline in the face of Carvana's assault. Between 2015 and 2024, over 3,000 independent used car lots closed permanently, unable to compete with Carvana's pricing, convenience, and customer experience. The company's revenue exploded from just $4 million in 2013 to over $13 billion by 2021, making it one of the fastest-growing retailers in American history. Customer satisfaction scores consistently exceeded 90%, compared to industry averages below 60% for traditional dealerships. The average time to complete a Carvana purchase dropped to under 15 minutes, while traditional dealership transactions still averaged over 4 hours. Carvana's inventory turned over every 45 days compared to 60-plus days for traditional lots, demonstrating the efficiency of their algorithmic pricing and demand forecasting. The company's gross profit per vehicle averaged over $3,000, matching or exceeding traditional dealer margins, while offering customers better prices and experiences. By 2024, Carvana was selling over 400,000 vehicles annually and had processed more than 2 million transactions since inception. The company's market capitalization peaked at over $50 billion, making it more valuable than many traditional automotive manufacturers. Traditional dealerships fought back desperately, but their weapons were lawsuits and lobbying rather than innovation. Dealer associations in multiple states challenged Carvana's business model, arguing that online-only sales violated franchise laws and consumer protection regulations. They succeeded in temporarily blocking Carvana's operations in several markets, but these victories were Pyrrhic and short-lived as courts and regulators increasingly sided with consumer choice over dealer protectionism. Some dealers attempted to launch their own online platforms, but these efforts were hamstrung by their existing overhead, outdated technology infrastructure, and resistance to cannibalizing their high-margin service departments. The National Automobile Dealers Association spent millions on lobbying campaigns and public relations efforts to paint online car sales as dangerous for consumers, despite evidence showing higher satisfaction rates and better outcomes. A few forward-thinking dealer groups partnered with technology companies to modernize their operations, but they struggled to match Carvana's pure-play digital efficiency and national scale. The fundamental problem was that the traditional model was built on inefficiencies and information asymmetries that digital platforms inherently eliminated. Dealers who had spent decades perfecting high-pressure sales tactics found themselves obsolete in an environment where customers had instant access to pricing data, vehicle histories, and alternative options. The COVID-19 pandemic accelerated dealership destruction as consumers desperately sought contactless purchasing options. While traditional dealers struggled with health restrictions, capacity limitations, and customer reluctance to visit physical locations, Carvana's business model thrived in the new environment. The company's home delivery service became essential rather than novel, and online car buying shifted from curiosity to necessity for millions of consumers. Carvana's revenue doubled during 2020 as customers who had never considered buying a car online suddenly had no alternative. The pandemic exposed the fundamental vulnerability of location-based retail models while validating Carvana's digital-first approach. Traditional dealers that had survived Carvana's initial assault found themselves facing existential threats as foot traffic evaporated and customers became comfortable with online purchasing. The company expanded rapidly during this period, launching operations in dozens of new markets and building additional vending machines to meet surging demand. By the end of 2021, Carvana was operating in over 300 markets across 48 states, covering nearly every major metropolitan area in America. The ripple effects of Carvana's dealer destruction extended far beyond the automotive retail sector. Commercial real estate markets in suburban areas faced massive oversupply as former dealership properties sat vacant, their large lots and specialized buildings difficult to repurpose. Thousands of sales professionals found their skills obsolete as high-pressure tactics became liabilities in the digital marketplace. The entire ecosystem of businesses that supported traditional dealers, from advertising agencies to finance companies to extended warranty providers, faced massive disruption as Carvana vertically integrated many of these functions. Auto auctions, traditionally the primary source of dealer inventory, saw volumes decline as Carvana built direct relationships with fleet operators, lease companies, and individual sellers. The company's success inspired dozens of competitors and copycats, from Vroom to Shift to CarMax's online pivot, creating a new category of digital automotive retail that further pressured traditional dealers. Local communities lost significant tax revenue as high-value dealership properties were abandoned or sold for redevelopment into lower-value uses. The transformation was so complete that by 2024, several states were considering eliminating or modifying franchise laws that no longer served their original protective purpose. By 2024, Carvana had achieved the seemingly impossible, making car buying enjoyable and efficient while destroying an entrenched industry that had resisted change for over a century. The company's vending machines stood as monuments to consumer-driven disruption, each towering structure representing dozens of traditional dealers that could no longer compete. While some critics pointed to Carvana's own challenges, including regulatory scrutiny, inventory management issues, and profitability pressures, the fundamental transformation they catalyzed was irreversible. The days of spending weekends on car lots, haggling with pushy salesmen, and enduring Byzantine financing processes had become historical curiosities, replaced by algorithms, apps, and home delivery. Thousands of dealers who had built fortunes on information asymmetry and customer desperation found themselves relics of a bygone era, victims of a revolution that prioritized transparency, convenience, and customer satisfaction over dealer profits. The franchise system that had protected dealers for nearly a century crumbled in the face of consumer demand for better alternatives. Carvana's giant vending machines weren't just dispensing cars. They were dispensing justice for every customer who had ever been victimized by the traditional dealership model. In the end, the industry that had survived the Great Depression, World War II, and countless economic downturns was felled by a simple proposition. What if buying a car didn't have to suck?